Well, we're on time, and I've just started the YouTube stream as well, so you can just get started.
Okay. Thanks a lot for joining the call today. Welcome to the S4HANA Special Interest Group within INDUS. So today, just like what we have been covering in the normal course, which is what are all the key capabilities within S4HANA, today we wanted to cover the end-to-end finance process. So not necessarily focusing on what is the latest delta, but what is the end-to-end finance process which is possible. Providing an abstract, agree that finance itself is a vast animal by itself. So we'll just provide an abstract of the various sub-processes within finance and how it can be executed within S4HANA. And we'll also be covering any of the latest innovations which is possible for you to do these processes better. So to support us, we today have Neeraj from SAP Labs. He's a product expert on the finance domain. So he'll be taking us through the capabilities within this. Neeraj, welcome to the call.
Thank you, Shiva. So welcome everyone. So now we'll start. Maybe I think we can others please mute themselves. Right. Okay. So today we are going to start the session on the end-to-end finance process with S4HANA. And as Shiva has already said before, that it will be more of an overview session where we'll be taking you through what is possible currently in from a finance perspective in S4HANA, what are the latest innovations and capabilities around it. And that's what we are going to target today. So, okay. So before we start, there's a disclaimer because you know what we are going to present is SAP proprietary information. So this is a confidential thing, of course. And again, the thing is, some of the things would be a future development also, which may come at a later point of time. And because it's not released, there could be changes. It's subject to change, right? So few statements could be forward-looking. So there could be changes in them at a later point of time. But we'll try to keep it as much as possible to what is possible currently. We'll try to keep the future little as less as possible. But we'll be telling you about them also so that you are aware what's coming up. So what we are going to cover today. So the S4HANA timelines, just a basic understanding on this. Then we jump towards more on the finance, where we'll give you a vision and the key highlights of what are the innovations, a high-level view, GL accounting, then the accounting, financial close, operations, cost accounting and profitability analysis, treasury, cash and liquidity management, IFRS, analytics, intelligent technologies. This will be more of an overview around the intelligent technologies and some resources that are available. So this is all that's what we are going to cover. Okay, so now let's jump in and let's see. Also, you can ask questions at times, but we'll have some dedicated time at the end. It would be good if we do the Q&A at the end, but if there is something compelling or really required, we can definitely have it in between also. So we are open and flexible in that regard. So let's jump in and starts with the S4HANA maintenance timelines. So as you all would be already knowing that S4HANA would be supported till 2040. That's a long time to come, and but for each release, the maintenance is the mainstream maintenance is like 5 years. So something say that was there in 2015. So its support ended in 2020. Something that came in 2016, say 1610 came in 2016. So it would be supported. You would be seeing like till 2021 and so on. So every thing has a 5-year cycle, and so I would say that you should, if you are in a particular release and you have not upgraded, ensure that you upgrade within the 5 years, so that you are not out of the SAP support or the maintenance cycles. This is very important for you to understand, and remember also that keep upgrading at least 5 years. So I would recommend that it's always good to be at the latest one. And now the upgrades are much simpler. They are not like before, where it was a complete cycle. It's more simpler. You can like how your mobiles updates and things happens, you can just upgrade. It's much simpler than before. Okay, so let's now move towards more on the finance part. Let's see in this. So we start with the vision and key highlights. So what's the vision, or what it was? So earlier you would be seeing here that majority of the things was operations, 60-70% operations, and 10% was the insights. Now what is targeted by SAP in future is the operations becomes 10-20%. The real-time insights are increased, and we also come up with some predictive insights. This is what we are focusing right now. And how do we make this happen? So to reduce the operations, we need more of the automation, right? So as the automations would increase, the effort on the operations, which is done currently manually, would reduce. This is like something which is, we do it at a very less that the users are doing, not just a typing work or making the entries, but they do more productive, or the things which add more value, like the real-time data, seeing them, thinking what's can be done better, what are the things we can improve, the better reportings and those kind of things, right? So which will deliver more value to the organizations. And what do we do in the future? Means how does it looks further? In future, the operations will remain within the 10-20% limit. Then next 30-40% we would keep on the real-time insights. And then we'll have the predictive insights. So predictive insights is something, where we are looking in the future, maybe 3 months or a year down the line, with the current runs, where are we going to be? We could predict, okay, if today we are, we are making this much of sales, what would be the sales in the days to come? Or by the year end, what would be the sales figure we could reach with the current trend, or the way we are selling and doing the things. Also, it could be like the financials. Okay, in the first quarter, we made, say, an X amount of profit. What would be our profits by the end of the year, or by the mid of the year, and ways this way. So here we would be using the predictive capabilities available in the SAP to even foresee that what would be the our results in the future. So this is what the vision of SAP is, and that's where we are looking to reach to. So moving further, so then the next part is the user-centric experience. So in today's world, where we have different things, it's not like before that we only use a a desktop at the office and do the things, but where we have a very hardware-centric things, but now the things are moving to the web-based, to the mobile-based, and things. And things are more dynamic. Earlier, if you saw the things in, say, a report in the morning in your working hours, but now with globalization and round the clock things moving, you might need to look at a report or some things at any point of time. So the capabilities of web-based and mobiles have increased, and its utility has come in. So for that, SAP is not only based with the GUI way of working, but now we also have web-based tools like the Fiori. Yeah, of course, there would be people who listening on the Fiori would say that, hey, it's very, very slow and things. But, with the time, yes, there was a time when it was top and heavy, it was little slower and things, and very limited capabilities. But now with time, it has grown a lot. And now Fiori has a lot better capabilities. It's much faster, much better performance already. And the content is becoming more and more dynamic, and intelligence being added to it, which makes it really well usable. Also now a lot of things like digital assistants and dynamic contents are coming, which can really make the life much simpler and easier, and provide a lot better analytics and reporting capabilities. Sorry, I just took a break for the sake. Okay, moving further, for the finance, what are the highlights? So we have single source of truth. Reporting analysis is much faster, flexible, richer, and better. We have now accelerated close, where we can do a much faster month-end closing. We can use, as I said, the predictive capabilities. Maybe these are some of the areas we'll also try to touch upon. And one of the best part is the soft close and the hard close. So soft close is something like, at any point of time in the month, you can see if you are closing it, what would be this situation, or how it would look like. So for which you really don't need to run a month-end closing job in between the month, because that's what is the hard close. Then we have the highest granularity, where we can look at an item-based, at line item level, and it's not like I should not go much into the back past, where the things were like we had tables which were indexed or did the totals, and there were multiple layers to reach to a certain level. Now, one source of truth from where we can get all of our things or the reporting done on the fly. So which gives us the highest level of granularity, because there is nothing, no layers in between, which actually compromised with the granularity earlier. Then the user experiences we already spoke of. We have more intuitive and user experience across the devices, which makes the things much simpler, easier, and at any point, anywhere you can see the information. Again, the next comes the automation, where the intelligent automation would make our life much simpler. We'll be going more deeper into the intelligent topic later in the later part. So how did we grow in S/4HANA? So it's a long journey. We are still growing the application. So I'm not going to go into each of the details that is written here. So please don't be scared seeing so much of data on this slide. What we are going to, why we brought up these slides is just to show how many things we have, and so much we are building across the years in different areas. So the slide you're currently seeing is for the accounting and financial close area, just a limited area. This is how much we have done. And some of the key things, if we need to say, is the single universal journal and the simplified data model that I was just talking before, where we had removed the totals, we have removed the indexes, and one single universal journal, which is the key to the things. Then we have the financial closing cockpit, which has made the things much simpler. Again, the accruals and those processes we have brought in. There is a new asset accounting data model for the simplification, which is more robust, faster, and better capabilities. GRIR reconciliations, universal allocations, and the list just keeps on going and going and going with so many functionalities that could be utilized in S/4HANA to make your life simpler and easier. So similarly, we have things on the financial operations, a lot of things that have been released from time to time. And similarly in the treasury, it's a huge area where we have invested and brought a lot of functionalities that could make your treasury experience really simple and good to use. Then we have cost management and profitability analysis. Now you would have used the the account-based profitability and the cost profitability and things, which would make the things much more simplified. Now the reconciliations would not be required between controlling and accounting or the GL. Everything would be synced and easy to use. And there are much more with the now universal allocations have also come, which would make the overall processes much more transparent and give you much better insights into the overheads and other things. So, and then this is what came recently in 2021. Again, lot of functionalities, and you will see every year this trend would continue to keep on bringing new things or new functionalities and new capabilities that would really make the things simpler, better for you, and helpful. So this is something at a very high level. Now let's look at little more down the each area. So let's start with the GL or the accounting part. So why did we bring the universal journal? So the motto of the whole point of bringing the universal journal, or the motto behind, is to take the best of all the world, right? So so because there were different dimensions, different things on which we used to look at the things. And the part is like, so we brought in multiple ledgers, we brought in different segments, we brought in the coding blocks and different things. And the next best part was we brought in one table where all kinds of line items of the table could be stored, which is our main universal journal, Ssc Docket, more popularly known by that, where we have everything in there. And we can build any kind of multi-dimensional reporting out of it, because that's the most that's the place where we have almost everything that's critical or important from a reporting perspective. And what it helps us is also to reduce the size of our database, because earlier with like the indexing, the totaling, and other things, the data was duplicated, replicated, and it increased the size. So those things don't happen anymore, and we are reducing our memory footprints also. With the data in one place, we are also able to now have a lot, what we should say, the multidimensional reporting, and from where we can one report which could show you based on different criteria, characteristics, and things. So that's make the things much simpler, easier. And again, we have like multiple ledgers and leading ledgers, standard ledgers, extension ledgers, where you can easily, without with minimal duplication of data, you can do reporting with different perspectives or from an for different purposes out there. So then there's also parallel valuations, and now even the parallel valuation you can define at each ledger level. Earlier that was not possible, and that created some challenges, like if you had to do some kind of IFRS reporting and a local reporting, it became little challenging. But now even your ledgers could do at a at a valuation level, and you can run your specific valuations at a ledger level, which could make your life much simpler, and you get a real parallel valuations, right? Kind of. So, and now you have kind of 10 currencies per ledger. So that capabilities has also increased. We have integrated planning.
There are two questions, Neeraj, probably if you would want to take it up. One is whether soft close will help having real income statement at any date instead of waiting for the month-end close for depreciation settlement.
Okay. Yes, it will help for that, but remember, it will be till that date. So suppose you are doing on the 15th, so it will calculate depreciation till 15th. It will not be calculating till the 30th of the month. So that has to be remembered. So it would be like if you're running on 15th, so for the 15 days, it will calculate what would be the depreciation, and it can tell you, okay, if you're creating a statement today, how much would be your depreciation for these 15 days, and based on that it would be calculating. You would not be seeing it for based on what would be on the end of the month. So as long as you understand that, that's the point. No, the settlements would not be considered as part of the soft close. No, that's not possible. Okay, fine. So coming back, then we have integrated planning and the integrated group reporting. That's also now possible. And then the predictive accounting. So the predictive part also comes where the prediction could tell, okay, how much the sales could happen in future and things. So moving further, let's see how our database has simplified. So prior to the S4 HANA, there were multiple, you would be seeing here multiple tables. There were multiple totals tables. There were index tables, and this was how it looked. And so many things, so many tables inside, and they were so for each report we had to kind of very complex things. But what happens now with the simplified structure? This is what is left. No more totals, no more indexes, very limited tables at each area, and from where you can get all kind of informations. You can build different reports and different things, and things are much simpler now. Of course, some of the old tables are still available as views, if and that has been kept, because if some of the reports are still using, or maybe like for the customers who moved from ECC to S4, for them they are still available so that their reports don't break. Then the ledger approach. So yes, like I was saying earlier, that now we have different ledgers, and based on these ledgers, we can have a very specific reporting, or the accounting principle based reportings. So say your group is doing a reporting at a certain level. Has its own principles, group reporting. So you can have one ledger dedicated to that, one for IFRS, one for US GAAP, one for your local reportings, and so on. Or maybe you can have some, specific ledgers for your tax reportings and things, where you can have some delta postings and things. So this would make your things a lot more, simpler. You have the data, you can create reports based on the data available in those particular ledgers at any point of time and make the things simpler. So what is the overall impact when we say of these things? So when we bring in one single source of truth, what benefits it brings? So it would bring a lot more, increased accuracy, because everything is sorted, kept properly in each of the ledger. You can easily, see the correct data. Single source of truth definitely out there, and it's more, harmonized and standardized way of your financial information, because now we are harmonizing everything gets standardized based on the accounting principles and things, and so it would be much easier to use. Also, now we also have the central finance. Probably we'll touch upon it little later. So that also helps you to, bring the data across your multiple systems into one place, and helps in, harmonizing and simpler reporting. Moving next. So how do we work? So this is something I already told, that the accounting standards and that would happen, and that will simplify the things. So some of the things I've already spoken of here, group-wide accuracy and automations. So I'm not going much more details into these slides, because these are the things we have already taken. Here I would just add to it that with the financial reporting, we also have now the group reporting. So where we can, create our group level financial statements, and the group reporting is available as a solution, and where you can do all the your group level like intercompany reconciliations, eliminations, and all the other relevant things, and quickly generate your financial statements at group levels also. So let's move to the next area, which is the finance operations. So when we talk of the financial operations, we would be talking of like our accounts payable, invoice management, supplier collaborations, and financial supply chains. So here, let's take a first look at the overall view of how the things works, or maybe let's see it from an architecture perspective. So here you would see that we have S4 HANA, right? So this is our core, or the digital core that we call, and then we have in it your account receivables management, which would have your credit management, dispute management, collections management, and also we have the capabilities of the SAP Analytics Cloud. So you would know that. So as you would know that in the credit management, we can work on the credit score, exposures. We know how much we should give to the customers and things. Okay, how much credit we can give, how much they are reliable and stuff, and we can rate them, and based on that we can set the credit limits and things. So that's what we do in the credit management. Collections. So now once we have sold to the customers, we need to collect the money. If we don't have a robust collection, our the working capital requirements would go high, the interest costs would increase, and we definitely, each organization needs collection management to ensure that they collect the money in time, so that the working capital could be managed properly. And it has a really robust processes to ensure that we can collect the money quickly. dispute management, another critical thing for a working capital management, because if you have, and also the customer experience, I would say, because if there is a dispute, the customer says, hey, your goods are not good, or we have not received, or not received in the right quantity. Sometimes the disputes just keeps on running, and your money is trapped, right? And even customers are not happy why the issues are not getting resolved for such a long time. So the dispute management with its workflow capabilities and things can be really very helpful, because you can create cases out there. These cases can be assigned to the right people. Even now we have, machine learning and other capabilities which can assign it to the right person, and or the processors, so that it can be worked out quickly. Now with Ssc, we have the dashboards for each of these areas, where you can see the real-time KPIs. Exactly for what area, how many dispute cases are existing, how do you really, how many you're resolving within the timelines. You can set up SLAs for each of the departments, saying, hey, you have to resolve disputes within this time and these things, so to improve your, overall customer experiences. And these KPIs and things will be, could help in managing the things much better. Other than these, we also have now, automatic cash applications, where, you can, once you have made the payments and, or sorry, you have received the payments, the customer sends you uh, the the details of your all the payments that you have received, right? So how do you process them? So now we have the cash applications where they can read through the PDFs, and it can automatically clear the things and say, hey, these are your things which are already paid. So you're not sitting manually looking at the payment advices that you have received from your customers, and one by one clearing them out. Okay, this is the one I have received, this is the one I have received. No, from the payment advice directly, the system would read, okay, for which customer, what were the, your billing documents which have got, for which you have received the payments. It will clear them out automatically. And just think how much time you would be saving. You would be having hundreds of thousands of customers. Now you don't need to go and individually do it, but the, the machine learning and intelligent technologies can do it for you. So next, again, similarly, things you can do with the payments, where you have the payment providers, where you can do it much easily, the payments. Then you can integrate with the credit agencies, and your credit management could become much simpler, where you can get the ratings from the credit agencies, and your and your credit management could have a, automatically get the ratings, whether a customer is a risky customer, high risk, low risk, what kind of risk the customer brings. And then the customer payment portals, where you can see the customer payments and what they're paying and how the things are working. So these all things work with the intelligence. So this is a brief overview of the things. And let's move on. So now this says already what I've explained. The next slides would be more or less talking of the same things. That this is from a credit management perspective, that how we can better improve our credit risks and reduce the credit risks really out here. Next is the invoice management. So here in the invoice management area, there are a lot of additional capabilities which have been brought in with the open text. And these capabilities of open text are available both within on-prem and the cloud solutions. So what happens is when you have these things, your invoices that are coming in an electronic or the PDF forms, these could be read by the intelligent technologies automatically, and they can create invoices and other things by themselves. So which could when just think that you're getting hundreds and thousands of invoices, the system is automatically reading them, creating invoices for you and doing the things. So how much less of the manual effort you would require, and you can use your resources for much better things, like seeing whether really which add more important tasks, like analyzing what products came in and or what you're selling, what is more profitable product. So your resources can be used on more value addition work rather than just entering the invoices or those kind of tasks. So let's look at it from an P2P process, we say that we can move more from an silos to an enterprise level, where we are not just sitting and entering the values and doing the things, but we are more on the managing or analyzing the data and managing the things better to get the best out of everything. Next, we go to this cash applications. So this is also something I had already talked about earlier, that how we can use the intelligent technologies using the SAP cash application, and where this is more of the description of what we already talked, that when the payments are coming in from the customers, we are just searching out of the discounts, exchange, and what all the things are happening, but with the intelligence in there, everything can be handled by this system. They can know, okay, they can match the invoices with your payments to the things automatically and save a lot of time. And with the machine learning, it can understand maybe at times you're getting partial payments, it can clear those things out, and or where it's complete payment, then of course it will able to find and do the things automatically rather than you going manually and doing the things. And it could work in the areas of your receivables line item matching, remittances or payment advice extractions, the payables line item matching, and the lockbox line item matching. So all these capabilities could be done through the cash application. Wide range of things. Okay, now next we move to another key and critical area, which is the closing. So the closing processes. So we all know that how important the closing is, and it's one of the times when there is a lot of pressure on the accounts team to do the things in a very timely manner. And now with improvement in the technology, the time period for closings are shrinking and shrinking. And without the robust and automated and intelligent processes, it's very difficult to close the books within a short period of time. And what the SAP helps is, with these advanced financial closing processes, the thing pretty much faster. And what we need to remember is that the automations are really helpful, in the repeatable, where the processes are repeatable. And I would say the closing is an area where the things are the most repeated month on month. We keep on repeating it. So what it helps is that we can automate these processes where more and more, the month-end jobs we run through the automation, so that they end up, in a very timely manner. You have to do minimal monitoring and things. and you can do better, faster processing. And also it has integrated collaboration tools where even the users can talk, to each other and, confirm, okay, this is completed and the next can go. So these things could improve. And finally, in the monitor, you can also see real-time insights, what things are completed, what is not, and you can take better decisions in a very short period of time, thus improving your quality and governance and the level of governance there. So this is something that's very important for you to understand and do the things. So what kind of capabilities we are bringing in? So by closing, in a faster and efficient way, this solution would deliver many automated closing tasks, alerts, so that that if there is an issue, you will be alerted. There is an issue, you will know. The things would be, supported through the workflows, where you have some manual tasks. You can send those things and, do the things, or inform that, okay, now it's your time to, work on this particular task. You can do those kind of things. There will be a lot more transparency and insight into, with the analytics which are built, so that you can have real-time insights and things. So you can really increase your closing by 15 to 25%, which would reduce, and it would, be much faster and simpler for you. Also, there would be audit trails and and the documentation required, so that if anything comes on the audit, that would be also supported. Moving next, so there is something that we are trying to show here. Here you would see that with the closing hub scenario, you might have different kind of landscapes, where you might have non-SAP systems, ECC, S/4HANA, or cloud and BTP systems. So what happens is, how does all of these, multiple systems? So even with the BTP platform, you can have the advanced financial closing on the cloud, connect everything to it, and you can have the, you can trigger your closing tasks from one single place into the multiple systems in a timely manner. And you will know in each of the systems how the things are working. If something is, stuck in one of these systems, also you can see it, like where you are stuck, and maybe that particular team can, be informed through the workflows. They can work on it and do the things. So everything would be running in parallel and everything can be done in a very, robust manner across the systems. And this would also help at the time of group reporting, because if everything has completed, all the closings in all the systems is completed, maybe you will not have to wait for individuals to come and say, hey, my area is completed. You will know and you can start your group reporting and those things in a more timely manner. And you can have a central control over everything. Okay. Now that we have seen at the things from a pretty much a high level, let's see also at some of the tools which can help you in your closing. So yeah, we know that we can use earlier, like we were talking of the cockpit. So the cockpits can be monitor or run the jobs and do those things. But let's also look at some of the tools which can use during the month end to make the month end closing experience more robust and simpler. So one of the things is the accrual. So accrual is one of the key and critical process, right, for the month end closing. And so we have this accrual management. So the accrual management would, automatically calculate and, post the liabilities. So currently we have this from an perspective of the purchase orders. We also have the manual accrual processes where you want to calculate manually. So you can even do those kind of things. and it would also support you with the spreadsheet. So if you have some accrual informations which you want to upload via spreadsheets, those things also can be done through the journal entry apps. And you can also do automatic accruals calculation also. So it's a very robust solution, and support the complete cycle, right from calculation, its review, posting the journal entries, and also the reversals. So it's a very comprehensive and a detailed process. Next, let's go to the goods and invoice receipt reconciliation. So this is another very, I would say, a manual and a time-taking process, where if the GR and IR are not reconciled, or you are doing it manually, it takes a lot of time and effort to do this. And this particular capability comes with the machine learning. So this is something where when you have a lot of GRIR processing, you can use the machine learning capabilities, where you can do a reconciliation of goods, receipts, and invoices automatically, and it will make your month-end closing processes much simpler and on a timely basis. Also, one thing I would say is, because of the MLN thing, yes, I would say one thing here about the machine learning is not something which is like a magic. It will just go, it will do everything. I would say it like humans, like we grow, right? First, we are a kid, we don't know to speak, we don't know to walk. We slowly learn the things, right? One by one, step by step, and slowly when we grow up, we do the things super fast and effortless. Even machine learning is something like that. It is something that's intelligent, yes, but it becomes intelligent over a time by learning, and that's something what we call as the training. So anything that's machine learning, yes, we'll have to definitely train it, providing our different data. And remember that, like, each person is different. Processes or the way of working is also different in each of the organizations, right? So each have their own way of working. So it's important that, so it's not always possible that the machine learning could be a plug and play, where you just plug and it starts running. No, but we have to give some kind of inputs, trainings to it, like thinking it like when it comes into your organization, it's like a baby who doesn't know to talk or walk or the things. But with the data which is already available with your organizations, we train it, we teach it to talk, to do the things, to understand how it matches, how it does the things. There are capabilities in, but we have to little bit train it, make it understand your processes, your things, the complexity of your processes, so that it starts to learn, understand, and once it does that, it starts to run, right? So that's something you should always be aware of. Okay, let's move to the next. Then we have the advanced compliance reporting. This is again something which is very, when we say the compliance, it means that the reporting which you submit to your legal, it could be, say, we are in India, so we would say like GST. It could be one of the critical things which could be done through the where ACR could be of a great help. So it's across multiple countries and things, but it's a very useful tool which could simplify your life. Now, let's move to the next area after the closing. That let's move to the planning and group reporting. Okay. So in the planning and group reporting, so group reporting is something where you do at a group level, and this is something where you can bring in all your data from across the things. And now even we have integrated planning, where you can do all kind of planning in one single place. So let's see what we have in the group reporting. So we can have the data collection. So in case you have multiple system landscapes, you can collect the data from the multiple areas. It could be SAP, non-SAP, or any thing. From there, you can collect data. You can have data preparations. Where you can do intercompany matching and reconciliations. You can do eliminations and those things. You can do analysis, dashboarding, disclosures, everything in from one single tool. It also has your machine learning capabilities, and this is used mostly for the intercompany reconciliation and management, because this is again a complex and a time-taking process. And through the automation, it does at a line item matching. It tells, okay, these are the things where the things are not matching, and we can through workflow inform the relevant people, and they can take a quick action. This could save a really lot of time and effort. Next, we go to the planning, and group reporting for planning can be also done. And what it helps is, like, whatever you had done the previous year, okay, you have the actual data of your results, and based on your previous year, you can create a planning for this year. So what happens, you don't have to start the planning exercise from the scratch. You have the complete data of the previous year, and I'm talking of the actual data, not the previous year planning data. You have whatever you have the data of the previous year of the actuals, you can actually convert into the planning data of the current year. And this actually, saves a lot of time on the planning part for you. And this could be very robust and useful. So you can review this data, and wherever you need the delta, or you can say, hey, increase it by 15%, 20%, and you can see those planning data created on the actual of your previous year, and reduce your effort drastically. Then we have the central finance. Central finance is more from a perspective where you have, again, a multi system landscapes. You have multiple landscapes, and you want to bring all the data into one place, not just the from a group reporting, but even a regular reporting purposes. It definitely helps with the group reporting also, because if everything is one place harmonized, the group reporting part becomes much simpler. Otherwise, you will have to do a lot of harmonization. Say you have a customer which is there in multiple landscapes, but you have different numbering of the customer or identifiers for the same customer, right? Then you will have to do the harmonizations. Those things could become much simpler in central finance with very with a lot of harmonization capabilities available around there in the central finance, which can do. And so this could make the things much simpler. And it's recommended to be there where you have multiple landscapes. Your data is too much scattered. You can get everything in one place through multiple systems, and really have a reporting across at your group levels, at individual areas, and much simpler for the CIOs, CFOs, I would say, to see the organization-wide details in one place. And it can also help with some central services or shared services kind of scenarios also, where you can have like your AP, AR services in one place. You can post your vendor invoices in here, which could make the things much simpler. So these are the things that I had been talking of already. So maybe we'll just move faster here. Then we also have the cost management and profitability analysis. This is another area where we have a lot of capabilities around. This also brings in a lot of value proposition by the way of allocations. So we can now allocate actuals and plan data for cost centers, profit centers. Margin analysis also can be now allocations can be done for margin analysis also. Then we have allocation, overhead allocations, distributions. These were always there and they still remain. What's also coming new, one of the key capabilities is the intra and intercompany specific cycle. So now I think one of the key challenges was the intercompany, because we know that earlier the allocations based on from one company code to another company code was not possible due to certain restrictions. But now even those capabilities have come in here, which would be adding a lot more capabilities. So the same things what I had already spoken would be here. So we have the capabilities from an material ledger and actual actual costing perspective, and we have now 3 currencies available in the material master, so that you can do the valuations at multiple currency levels. Also the actual costings, with the actual costing we have the actual cost component split, which is very beneficial, and you can have a very detailed split. So probably talking of that split, maybe this is an example that you can see where your cost of goods sold would be broken down further into labor, material, overheads, admin, and other things. And here you can see that your sales and also your profitability analysis, you can see what is each of the here, like labor, what was the total labor, material, overhead of the total sales what you have done. So this is, and further you can also do similar things for the variances. You can have a detailed view on the variances, whether how much variance came from the price, how much from the quantity, and those things. And this would also tell you where you need to really work out to reduce your variances in the future things, or where the costs are really impacting or the variances are impacting you. This would help for better planning in the future. Okay, then you also have a real-time WIP calculation, so where you can see, okay, where your with each work in progress, with the good movements and confirmations, you can have a better understanding of the WIP also. So next comes the margin analysis. So margin analysis is somewhere you can see your profitability, and a margin analysis where you can see all your details of what kind of revenues, what kind of expenses, its breakdown based on material, labor, overhead, again the same things. But yeah, this is something that's key to your long-term profitabilities, and also understanding where your costs are increasing and where your revenues are there, and what you should do next for better planning and the areas to control. Okay, next we go to the treasury management. A little bit going faster now because of the time shortage. So the treasury management, we have all the things like financial risk management, letter of credits are supported. Then we have these are both available as a basic and the advanced functions. We have international trade management and things. Other than this, we can also do a lot of cash management, like cash concentration, and other processes. We can do the payments integration for much faster processes. We also have analytics cloud with trading platform integrations, where contents are available for these things. Then we go to the cash and liquidity management. And these cash and liquidity management has some really good dashboard and capabilities, where you can do your cash and liquidity managements, electronic bank statements, cash operations, liquidity management, and bank account management. So these are very robust processes, and enabled with the intelligent technologies embedded in them. This is what you are looking is a Ssc report, and with the standard contents available. And this could show your cash flow analysis, cash positions, liquidity forecast, and liquidity planning informations, and which from where you can see how your things are currently going compared to your planned data. Again, from a bank account perspective, the bank relationship management, and there was earlier lack of transparency around these processes. And now with the enhanced, governance, control, and compliance in the bank account management, all these key challenges can be taken care of, and these could be overcome here. So from an end-to-end perspective, now the processes, the data, reports and analysis, what actions needs to be taken, the controls to be implemented, and the IT part, everything end-to-end solution is provided from a bank account perspective. Also, for faster bank transfers, there are templates available where based on the templates, you can do much faster transfers. And these support your direct transfers or your payment request and the payment process related transfers and things. So this is something that improves the overall bank transfer experience. Then this is again about the cash concentration. So these things we have already a little bit spoken of, that using the Ssc, we can see better reports and better control the cash concentration processes. Then we have the liquidity. So we can have the liquidity planning where we can see complete, processes. And this liquidity planning can be done both from an BPC perspective or on the Ssc. So it supports both the areas, whether you do it on BPC or Ssc. Now let's go to the analytics in finance. So from an analytics, yes, there are two kinds of analytics. One is the embedded analytics. Okay, so with the embedded analytics, you can use the Ssc and where you can see the KPIs. You can analyze different paths, use cases, and you can also have these CDS views, or we will say virtual data models, which you can create, and based on that generate your reports. These are very flexible tools, and you can really create the reports that you are looking to create. Going further, how you can use these embedded analytics. So you can use different things. So you can have a dashboard for KPIs where you can see the figures at a real time, your KPIs at a real time, how your individual areas or the organization in total are working. You have the overview pages where you can see more on, say you can have an overview page on AR, and you can see everything related to AR, your customers, your DSOs and other things at one place. Then there are analytical list pages where you can see from an analytical perspective how the things are going in a graphical or a tabular manner. You have then multi-dimensional reports where you can see you can see something based on profit center, you can see based on cost center, you can see at a GL level, or based on segments. So these are multi-dimensional where you can choose the characteristic you want to see, and based on it you can see in the same report from different perspectives. Then we have Sap Analytics Cloud. Of course, it has your digital dashboards or digital boardrooms where you can see your complete analysis or company-wide profitability and things very easily. And it has a lot more capabilities also to see various overviews and dashboards in there. And these contents are in Ssc are provided out of the box, so you don't have to create these stories. The contents are already available. You have to build connect your systems to the Ssc, and then you can just use the standard contents available and start seeing the reports. very fast and easy to use. Okay, next we quickly move on to the intelligent technologies. So the intelligent technologies that SAP is currently working and enhancing, going through our using your machine learning, intelligent robotic process automations, conversational AI, situation handling, and things. So these are a lot of things where, which in a combination, it's not being used individually, but as a complete chain of things, and which is bringing in value, end-to-end value to the things. So how does an organization or a CFO or CIO gain value out of it? So this is what we have also been discussing throughout that. With the predictive analysis, we can know the future. From conversational AI, we can basically talk to the system and get some reports out, simpler ones, or input a particular data into the system. Intelligent applications, they can really give you the insights to the future. Situation handlings can pop up a message and tell, okay, hey, something looks bad here, just or alert you. It can trigger alerts for certain situations and say it's a low priority, high priority alert, so that a user becomes alert and sees, okay, something is not right here. And intelligent RPA, the robotic process automation, which would automate your processes, run some repetitive tasks for you, and add more time to you, because you have only limited time to work, right? A day has only 24 hours, but with RPA, the things can run even when people are not there. They can run even in non-working hours and 24/7. But what are the things we bring the values, right? So there are certain things where we have value creator. So we have broken it into two dimensions: value creator or enhanced intelligence or embedded automation, and in the areas of creating a record or financial accounting or financial closing or reporting, right? So all these areas, we have different tools which can be used. And more tools are coming in all of these areas as we progress or go into the future, because these are the areas, that's the next focus, that how we can make or from the vision that we showed initially, that how we go from the basic operations to more towards the insights and predictions. And this is where the work is going on, and which is the future of this. And how does this benefit? So it would benefit with more, better, accurate financial statements, improving or the reduction in the requirement of working capitals, better managing the cost and improving the forecasting, better process controls, better services, low cost per transaction, and lower TCOs, better improved procurement, and better accrual calculations, and better month-end closings. So here we have the top 10 reasons that why the intelligent finance is going to help you in the things. I think you can look, and we'll be sharing these with you also. So this is what we had for you. So if you have any questions now, we can take.
There are a few questions in Zoom. Probably you can pick it up.
Okay. So we can go to the chat and. Okay. So. Let me just.
While we go through the questions, we'll just activate the poll. So probably you can also answer the poll while we answer all your questions.
Okay. So I'll just minimize and let's start. Okay. I think for the soft close and settlement, we had already answered. How to use Fiori in financial close? Okay, that's a good question. So for Fiori, we have multiple apps already available for the financial close, and you can use those Fiori apps for your financial closing perspective. Also, like we talked of the advanced financial closing, so that is something that's available on a BTP on the cloud platform. So it's more like a separate tool, and I think if you would have observed, it also has some additional, the licensing costs and things, but that could be something on the top on the cloud, which can connect to all your multiple, systems and do the processing, and you can monitor from one place and see the complete process. Coming to next, whether annual reports, quarterly reports, results data may be directly extracted from system for publication without external working by formatting out of SAP. With the ACR, yes, it is possible, but I would not say all the reports if that's possible. But I think a lot of reports are already supported, and the reports that are supported can definitely be generated out of it, out of the box without additional working or formatting. That's possible. So the reports which are already supported, those are yes possible if, using the ACR functionality. Is group reporting part of core as HANA or separate license needed? As far as I know, group reporting is an additional license. So you will need a separate license to use the group reporting part. All standard Fiori apps query only legal valuation and not the group valuation details. Does SAP has any plan to enhance these reports? I'm not sure you're on which level or the current, but I think recently with 2021, I think the things are going to have changed. I think going in future, you will be having these things where you can have the group valuation details also out in your reports, because now the ledgers and those things are, if you have different ledgers out there, from an ledger concept, you can definitely do these things. If you have a separate ledger for the group thing, you can definitely do these. Will accrual management happen on daily basis or a monthly basis? Okay, accrual management will happen on monthly basis. It's not something you do on a daily basis, and the recommended approach is also monthly basis, because because if you have a PO and you're doing a daily accrual, I don't know why it should be done on a daily basis. To me, it doesn't make sense. Maybe if you're asking from a soft close perspective, then you don't have to run the accrual management daily. I think soft close has its own logic to calculate those things internally. Financial reports, if any, date-wise, will not go into this kind of a deep dive. There are multiple financial reports. Just saying financial reports, it's a very huge topic in itself. I don't know what report we are talking of. And yes, there are reports available based on the trades, but I think we cannot deep dive at that level right now. Whether algorithm is supported while converting the actual data of last year as planned data of next year. Yes, there are certain algorithms which are built, and simulations are available using the intelligent technology. So those simulations are what would come up, and once you accept based the data, you can review that data based on the simulations which are generated using the algorithms in the background, which generate the simulations, and based on that, once you accept, this would be done. Can we have this deck? I think yes, this deck will be shared with you. Can we for yes, this will be shared. Okay, that's answered.
ACR question is a license implication. Is it a license product?
Which one? ACR. Yes, ACR is again a licensed product, right?
In case any of the questions, you have further questions or anything, you can put it on chat or you can unmute and ask it live.
Okay, so ACR full form is Advanced Compliance Reporting. So it's also mentioned in the deck. So once the deck comes, you would also see that. So it's the Advanced Compliance Reporting. So if no more questions, then probably
We can close.
We can close this session. And I would like to thank all of you for joining and listening to this. We would be definitely looking at your feedbacks, and please give your feedback so that we are aware and we know what you're really looking at if this session did not meet your expectations. Hope this session would have met your expectations. Thank you, everyone. It was nice to have a session with you and for all the questions that you have asked. Thank you.